Bob and Anne in Alouette joined me on this quite ambitious cruise. We started at Tin Can Bay at the southern end of the Great Sandy Strait and enjoyed a very easy cruise up to our first anchorage at Garry. Garry's anchorage is a very pleasant spot, and we had the most perfect conditions there. We continued north in the lightest of breezes. The marina at Hervey Bay, where we remained for over a week, as the winds were too fresh for us to continue north. The next leg to Bundaberg was over 50 nautical miles, requiring an early start at sunrise. In these open waters I used a safety harness, and I had a trip line attached to the auto helm in case I did go overboard. We enjoyed beautiful reaching conditions, the wind eventually dropping until we arrived at Bundaberg. The next leg was also over 50 nautical miles, necessitating a midnight start under a full moon. We were heading for 1770, and due to the shallow entrance we needed to arrive there at high water at 9 a.m. Dawn was a long time coming, and very welcome when it did. But we'd had a wonderful sail very fast, in good reaching conditions. The moon still shone down as we approached Round Hill Head. And here we entered the anchorage at 1770. A beautiful anchorage which we thoroughly enjoyed. Walking round the foreshore, and up the hill for splendid views over the estuary. Truly a special place. Now we sail to Gladstone in easy stages with stops at Pancake Creek, Rod Harbour and Coliseum Inlet. Light conditions. Approaching the port of Gladstone, we passed numerous industrial installations, reminding us of what a very busy port this is. Constant shipping movements with bulk coal carriers heading out. In April 2007 there were 150 of these ships waiting to be loaded off Australian ports. Leaving Gladstone, we sailed around the outside of Curtis Island, making for Cape Capricorn and Yellow Patch. An easy downhill slide under spinnaker. Rundle Island and Cape Capricorn. We anchored here for a short while, waiting for the tide, before heading into Yellow Patch. We set sail for Great Keppel Island, but due to an adverse tide and very little wind, we made frustratingly little progress for several hours. The arrival of the sea breeze and the turn of the tide gave us a wonderful sail for the rest of the way. Long Bay at Great Keppel, a beautiful anchorage that we know well. And here Jeanette joined me for the next part of the cruise up to Mackay. On a day of very little wind indeed, we motored and sailed across to Corio Bay. A perfect reaching breeze took us to Port Clinton. From here we sailed to Pearl Bay, but after a beautiful day, the weather deteriorated, and it's probably best to draw a veil over the rest of our stay there. With the stronger winds, the swell invaded the bay, making life very uncomfortable for everyone there. It rained and rained for 2 days. We just had to sit there and put up with it because there was far too large a swell running outside to risk moving on, and very little visibility in any case.